This is the dawn of a new era in British karting. Over 550 drivers in 12 classes competing for victory over 18 race weekends. This is the Motorsport UK British Kart Championships.
The IAME division of the British Karting Championships touches down at Rowrah in Cumbria this weekend for round 4 of the 2019 season, starting with the IAME Cadets. One of the frontrunners of this year's campaign is Harley Keeble, who heads into the weekend third in points. After taking glory on Saturday, the question remains, can he go on today and do the double?
It's gone great so far. Yesterday we had some trouble with power, but then in the final we sorted it and we won from 7th, and then in the 2 heats we finished 2nd, so that's put it on pole for the final today. I think it's just really fast, flowy, there's always places to overtake. I would love to win, but I'm happy with a 2nd or a 3rd.
Let's try the start again then. It's going to be Keeble and Carr on the front row, Burgoyne Jr. and Joaquin Nakama Roberta, Maximus Hall and Nathan Tighe, Aidan Neate and Alex O'Grady, Macaulay Bishop and Sonny Smith. Here we go, take 2 for the start. 15 minutes of IAME Cadet action begins now, and it's a decent move to the inside line to try and get the lead going around the outside into turn 1. Joaquin Nakama Roberta gets squeezed out 2 or 3, there's one car off already that possibly could be Aidan Neate of number 5. I think it is. Aidan Neate off at least S's at the first chicane, and that was a bit of contact in the mix from that 6th or 7th position. So down towards the Iredale hairpin for the first time, and it is a Fusion 1-2. It is Keeble ahead of what looks to be Brandon Carr, and then in 3rd place, then up to 3rd has gone Maximus Hall on the PMR chassis. Joaquin Nakama Roberta is down to 4th, but it looks as though it's a good start for the 46 of Nathan Tighe, up towards the Stuart S's for the first time they go, but the one's probably going to do a lot of work. It looks to be, I think it was Aidan Neate, because it was a Fusion Motorsport car. It was a single-digit number, so it looks to be possibly up at the front there. It looks as though, most likely, it was going to be Aidan Neate. Into sunny corner for the first time, and it is indeed a Oliver Rowland Motorsport 1-2. Keeble ahead of Carr as they turn out through paddock. Up the inside for 4th on the inside of Nathan Tighe goes Joaquin Nakama Roberta. Across the line they go for the first time. It's Keeble who leads. It's actually Harry Burgoyne Jr., my apologies, in 2nd place. Maximus Hall is 3rd. Nakama Roberta 4th. Brandon Carr is 5th. The Sonny Smith is in 6th position. And the one that did lose out indeed was Aidan Neate at the opening corner. So Keeble leads. Burgoyne Jr. in 2nd place then. Maximus Hall 3rd. Roberta up to 3rd place now. Hall's been shuffled down to 5th position. He's lost out behind him to Brandon Carr as well. 6th position for Sonny Smith, and there's Bishop, O'Grady, Archie Clark is up 3 spots from where he started, and the biggest loser from the top 10 was Nathan Tighe. Started 6th, he's down to 10th and trying to claw his way back up into the top 10. So the leading 2 are starting to pull away pretty quickly now. It's Keeble versus Burgoyne Jr. Keeble, of course, came as the weekend 3rd in points. Burgoyne Jr. was back down in around about 7th position. Joaquin Nakama Roberta leads the next group. Sonny Smith is on the back of Maximus Hall, going up the inside into paddock corner and steals 4th position. It's now a Fusion 3-4. Hall into 5th place. 6th place now for Brandon Carr, looking up the inside for a position on the 16 of O'Grady. That was Nathan Tighe trying to make a pass for 9th place. Couldn't get through as they went through the S's. And now back up the hill towards the hairpin at McRae's, and then the sprint down towards Iredale. So the top 2 have this race in control at the moment. Is an Oliver Rowland Motorsport 1-2, a Fusion Motorsport 3-4, the PMR chassis of Maximus Hall in 5th position. The 3rd of the Oliver Rowland karts in the mix there is Brandon Carr. The Macaulay Bishop, the privateer, doing well, also up in 7th place. And some more drivers riding up through the ranks. Also want to watch out for is going to be the Strawberry Racing driver of Monde Canini Jr., the South African driver for Strawberry Racing. Started back in 24th position, up 7 spots already to 17th. And that's for Aidan Neate, trying to recover his way back through the order. He's already back up into 23rd place, not waiting around at all. In fact, he's just on the back of, who's he on the back of? He's charging to the back of the 45 now. And the 45 is Daniel Sofronet in the Strawberry Racing car. Fastest lap of the race at the end of lap number 3 has gone to Harry Burgoyne Jr., 55.67 with an average speed of 41.39 miles an hour. So Harley Keeble then, or Keebs as he's known, is going to try and press on to make it 2 heat round final victories in the weekend, but teammate is certainly making it very difficult as they start to work together. Keen Nakamura Roberta has got now Maximus Hall to the outside down towards Stuart Esses. Will he be able to late break him round the outside? The answer is no, he can't. And that means that Keen Nakamura Roberta, the young Japanese driver and champion leader coming into the weekend, remains in third position, but he has got the PMR and Oliver Rowrah motorsport drivers right behind him. His two teammates, Sonny Smith and Archie Clark, are back there in 6th or 7th place. They're being put under pressure both from Nathan Tye Jr. and Macaulay Bishop as they come out of Sunny Corner into paddock once again, cross the line, go over the top two. Still about 11.25 minutes to go in this race. Harley Keeble with a new fastest lap of the race with a fastest final sector, 55.55, 41.18, 41.48 miles an hour average speed. They turn back into McRae's once again. This is on lap 5 on the run towards Iredale's, turning into the right-hander. Harley Keeble, who was speaking to earlier for the coverage, just saying that he's having quite a good season and certainly trying to make the most of a good weekend so far. He has one final victory under his belt. He wants a second, but even though the two Oliver Rowland carts are going to be working together here, there has to be a point, and certainly they've both got to pull the pin to decide that they're far enough ahead to start battling. Battle of 30 still on between Keen Nakamura Roberta being put under big pressure from Maximus Hall and also Brandon Carr. Maximus gives him a little nudge in the rear as he comes up through paddock corner. Still Brandon Carr in 5th position. Sonny Smith is in 6th place ahead of teammate Archie Clark. Clark gives a quick look back to see where Nathan Tye is. And he's pulled away slightly from Macaulay Jones. Ethan Jeff Hall, who we mentioned, is up 3 spots from where he started back in 13th up to 10th. And also just outside the top 10, Lewis Werrell's 11th place, Finn McLaughlin 12th, Vinnie Phillips 13th, Zachary Knight 14th. That's for Aidan Neat. He's back up to 18th place, taking a position from his Fusion Motorsport teammate Ella Stevens. Stevens down to 19th. Archie Clark is in. Aidan Neat is up into 18th position. Archie Clark, for the record, is up in 7th place behind Sonny Smith, also from the Fusion Motorsport stable. That's the Stuart Esses down towards right-hander at St John's. The tight entry of the Sunny Corner opens out on the exit. Very similar run from the paddock as they come towards the end of another lap. End of lap 6. And again, battle of the third is still locked between Keen Nakamura Roberta and Fusion Motorsport. The PMR driver program, number 6 of Maximus Hall with the bright green helmet, and then the yellow helmet behind them. That is Brandon Carr in the 8th for Oliver Rowrah Motorsport. A new fastest lap of the race, currently set at the moment by Harley Keeble, which has lowered it even further to a 55.35. And the gap across the line was almost 0.2 of a second, so it looks as though that Keeble's starting to put a little bit of breathing space now between himself and Harry Burgoyne Jr. As that three-way scrap for third heads back down towards the Stuart Esses. Again, I think Maximus Hall was trying to put himself into line into the entry of that complex to pick up a move for third place. Now, as we say, Harley Keeble is starting to try and escape away from his teammates at this point in time. We're coming up to half distance in this second IAME Cadet final of the weekend here at Rowrah. Now, just behind this battle for third place, watch for the 95 of Sonny Smith. He finished in yesterday's final. He finished in 9th place. He's up a few places higher than we finished yesterday. That's 6th position for him. He's pulled away from his teammate Archie Clark, and Archie now is falling to the clutches of Nathan Tye in the 4th of the Oliver Rowland Motorsport karts in the order. In fact, Oliver Rowland have 4 karts in the top 10, almost 5, because Lewis Werrell is just behind Ethan Jeff Hall, who still remains in 10th position. It was just set actually the new fastest lap of the race, so Ethan Jeff Hall puts in a 55.31 to go with the fastest lap of the race so far. Less than 8 minutes to go now in this second final. Out through the Stuart Esses, up towards St John's again. Still Harley Keeble in command from Harry Burgoyne Jr. It's changed for 4th position though, because up into 4th position has gone Brandon Carr, the expensive Maximus Hall. This is now bringing Sonny Smith into play, so it's now a 4-way dance for third place rather than a triple threat. Out onto the pit straight they go. Keen Nakamura Roberta still in 3rd. 4th place still for Brandon Carr now. Maximus Hall down to 5th. Sonny Smith in 6th position. Archie Clark 7th. Then it's Nathan Tye, followed by Macaulay Bishop, but Ethan Jeff Hall remaining in the top 10. He's pulled out a couple of seconds gap now on the next group of karts, which is headed now by Lewis Werrell, who's in a bit of actually no man's land. He's about a second and a half ahead of Vinnie Phillips, which is where the next big group of karts comes through with Alex O'Grady and Finn McLaughlin. And Aidan Neat so far into the top 15, into 15th place by picking up a couple of spots past Zachary Knight last time by. So the leaders go back into the Esses once again. Still up into St John's, Just now I can see Harry Burgoyne is starting to close that gap in a little bit further now. Third place for Keen Nakamura Roberta, who now has Brandon Carr for company. And Maximus Hall has lost another spot. We said to watch for Sonny Smith. He's lost out now to Sonny Smith. It's now a warning flag goes out for kart 6, and that is Maximus Hall. That's either the track limits or for contact. Anyway, he's been given a brief slap on the wrist there, so he has to try and transgress again. Otherwise, he may possibly find himself with a penalty. Out of McRae hairpin, up towards Iredales. We're on lap 10 now of this second IAME Cadet final here in the British Karting Championships at Rowrah. Still, hardly keep it from Harry Burgoyne Jr. 0.3 of a second. New fastest first sector of the race goes to Brandon Carr. So that won't be easy viewing for Keen Nakamura Roberta, of course, in third place. Who's going to try and keep him at bay, hold on to that final podium spot. Keen's weekend so far has been in and around the top 5. He's taken one heat victory in the second heat yesterday. He's taken a 6th place in the first heat yesterday, a 6th in the final yesterday, and then a 4th and a 5th in the 2 races. In fact, it has been a change now for third place whilst I mentioned that. So up into third place has now gone Brandon Carr. So that fastest first sector wasn't for nothing, but Keen Nakamura Roberta staying on his rear bumper as they turn up through the S's like glue. Over the curves as they sweep towards McRae's again on lap 11. And new fastest lap of the race is still actually now held again. It's been lowered once more by even Jeff Hall. 55.21 with an average speed of 41.73 miles an hour. No change so far in the top 2. It's still keeping Harry Burgoyne Jr. at bay despite all this pressure that his Oliver Rowrah Motorsport teammate is applying. The gap was 0.3 of a second. Looks a lot closer than that as they come across the line. So we head now back down towards St John's, the right-hander, sweeping through and then hard braking, flick left through Sunny Corner on the exit, opens out on the run towards Paddock, but really starts to get quicker and quicker on the exit. And there has to be a point now where they've got quite a substantial lead, where there is a chance here that these two will possibly start to contend for the win, because I don't think Harry Burgoyne Jr. with the pace he's setting so far, look at the fact that was a personal best last time by 55.25. That was about 2/10 quicker than his teammates in the lead. So it's clear that Harry Burgoyne Jr. is quick enough to possibly take the lead. The question is he going to make the move? And if so, when's he going to do it? Is he going to wait for the last lap? Is he going to go for in a couple of laps' time? Will he make it now towards the Stewart S's? Keep an eye on it. It is now an Oliver Rowrah. We should mention 1, 2, 3 for the ORM squad. And a possible change for 4th or 5th up the inside line. Sonny Smith was making a dive there on both Brandon Carr and Keen Nakamura Roberta. And he has, I think, got through. Yes, he has. So a change there from 5th to 3rd with a big dive up the inside into the Stewart S's for Sonny Smith from 5th to 3rd. That puts Brandon Carr down to 4th. And Keen Nakamura Roberta squeezed down to 5th position. Maximus Hall is 6th, 7th place for Archie Clark, 8th for Nathan Tighe. And not for much longer, it might not, because up the inside goes, I think that was possibly, it might be Aidan Neatis actually in the 5. No, I think it was the 68 actually, Macaulay Bishop. I think Lewis Werrell's in the mix there too as well. So now again, we've almost got 5 Oliver Rowrah karts in the top 10. Lewis Werrell is right on the back of his team. He's a couple of seconds away from his teammate. So Ethan Jeff Hall up to 7th, Clark 8th, Bishop 9th, and Nathan Tighe in 10th position. Again, the top 2 sweeping down towards the Stewart S's with 3.5 minutes left to go. Sonny Smith with a new fastest lap of the race, 55.11, 41.81 miles an hour. Out of Stewart S's down towards St John's. And is there going to be a moment now that Harry Burgoyne Jr. realises he is that quick against his teammate? Is he playing the team game, or is he simply just trying to wait for his opportune moment to strike? Up through Paddock. Change now for 3rd, 4th and 5th. It's changed around completely again because the Harry Burgoyne Keen Nakamura Roberta has gone to 3rd this time. Sonny Smith is now 4th. And Brandon Carr was the big loser out of that one, dropping 1 place to 5th. So Keen Nakamura Roberta did effectively the same thing which Sonny Smith did, which is going from 5th to 3rd. If you get the inside for 4th goes Brandon Carr, sweeping through McRae's, gets the move done. That's another place regained now, and we're almost back where we started, which is Keen Nakamura Roberta back into 3rd place. Brandon Carr back into 4th, and Sonny Smith is back into P5. But look behind them, because the bright green helmet of Maximus Hall of the PMR driver programme is there in 6th position. Ethan Jeff Hall is coming with him. He had a fantastic rookie season so far. He's driving. You wouldn't have thought he was a rookie by the way he's driving. He's putting a fantastic performance. Up there in 7th place, putting the pressure on Maximus Hall. Archie Clark still 8th. Nathan Tighe still 9th. And in 10th position now is Macaulay Bishop. And we are starting to run out of time and laps here for any chance of Harry Burgoyne Jr. to make it through. Charlie Keeble continues to lead the way with just under 2 minutes to go now across the line. And again, Burgoyne Jr. was 2/10 quicker on that lap. There has to be a time, surely. He Harry Burgoyne Jr. sets up his teammate for a move. Isn't it McRae's? Fight for third is still going on. Up the inside for third place was Brandon Carr, Keen Nakamura Berta. Sonny Smith tried to go with him, has to go possibly side by side with his teammate. Keen Nakamura Berta looks across, takes his racing line and goes back into Idas. But round the outside of the pair of them goes Sonny Smith. He's doing it again. And look at Maximus Hall past all three of them. He's also bringing Ethan Jeff Hall to the mix as well. So 5 of them for third place, down towards Stuart Esses. Who's going to come out on top? They'll come out on the chicane in a second. The top 2 are away and gone. For third place, it is Maximus Hall. So he entered that first couple of corners in 6th place. He's come out of it in 3rd. What a fantastic sequence that was for Maximus Hall. A great job. And there's no wonder he's called the Gladiator. He's got brilliant fighting spirit to get up to 3rd place. 4th place now for Ethan Jeff Hall. He's followed him through. Now it's 5th, 6th and 7th for the 3 Fusion Motorsport carts. In which order I'll be able to tell you. It's the 51 of Keen Nakamura Bursa, then Sonny Smith, then Archie Clark, then Brandon Carr, Nathan Tyne, Macaulay Bishop. So again, it's all of our other motorsport and Fusion Motorsport that are dominating the top 10 mostly. Kart number 8, which is Brandon Carr's been given a warning flag, possibly for either, again, track limits or contact. 40 seconds to go, so I think we're possibly going to get, depending on maybe 2 more laps, I think, in this race. But it's been a brilliant contest so far. The top 2 have been pretty much oblivious to the fight that's been going on around them in 3rd place backwards. Still Maximus Hall in 3rd position. 4th place for Ethan Jeff Hall. He could get on the podium if he plays his cards right. Back into St John's. Keen Nakamura Berta, champion leader, coming into the weekend in 5th position, right onto the tail of the back of the 3rd place. Ethan Jeff Hall takes a slightly wider entry, just nibbling away at the rear bumper of Maximus Hall as they turn out through paddock onto the pit straight. Watching on in 6th is still Sonny Smith. Back up to 7th place has gone Brandon Carr. 8th place now for Archie Clark. 9th for Nathan Tyne. 10th for Macaulay Bishop. Back with our leaders, and there is still no move made so yet by Harry Burgoyne Jr. The clock has hit 0, so next time they come past the post, it will be one more time around the Rowrah circuit. Is there an opportunity brewing here for Harry Burgoyne Jr., or is Harley Keeble just doing enough to keep them at bay, or is this all part of the overall plan for Oliver Rowland Motorsport? For 3rd place, I thought they'd been a change, but they haven't so far. Still as it was. 4 carts for 3rd then. Maximus Hall looking at this possibly for 4th place. Goes to Keen Nakamura Berta and squeezing past him at the same time goes Sonny Smith. So Ethan Jeff Hall has lost 2 spots in the space of 1 corner. Keen Nakamura Berta prized the door open. His teammate Sonny Smith came all the way back through, and now that's Ethan Jeff Hall down from 5th, from what was 4th down to I think 6th position. Last lap of the race now. Here comes Harry Burgoyne Jr. looking a little bit racier now. He's on the back of his teammate. He's going to make the move. He has to do it now. Quick look back a couple of times there for Harley Keeble. Looking down the outside line with 2 of a row. The motorsport drivers go side by side on the exit. But Harley Keeble's got the line covered. Was that his best chance gone? Or is he saving the best until the very last corner? Into the Stuart Esses for the final time. Looking behind, it's 3 of them for 3rd place. We've got Keen Nakamura Berta, Sonny Smith and Maximus Hall. Ethan Jeff Hall's at the back of that queue as well. Top 2 are nose to tail, looking to the outside line in St John's. Possible to make the move. Can he pull himself alongside with the switchback? Going down the outside of his teammate for Harley Keeble. He's Nathan Harry Burgoyne Jr. Nose to tail, up towards the final corner for the last time. Small bump around the outside. Keeble throws the block on the outside line. It's side by side and drag race to the line as he times to perfection across the line. And I think Keeble just got it on the line for Harry Burgoyne Jr. The timing screen tells me he got it. It tells me the actual gap between them was 0.01 at the flag. 1/100th of a second between Harley Keeble and Harry Burgoyne Jr. If that doesn't deserve a round of applause on the banks, I don't know what does. Give these guys a round of applause. What a fantastic race that was. And Harry Burgoyne Jr. just missed out on his perfect opportunity. Keen Nakamura Bersa won that battle for 3rd place. Sonny Smith gets 4th. Ethan Jeff Hall gets 5th. 6th place for Maximus Hall. 7th place for Brandon Carr. 8th for Aidan Neat, who had a fantastic fight back into the top 10 after he had the spin earlier on at the start of the S's. 9th for Nathan Tyne and 10th for Macaulay Bishop. What a breathless battle that was. And what a great way to end the IAME Cadet weekend. Harley Keeble then walks away with 2 final victories. Came into the weekend with none on his 2019 CV. He walks away with 2 to his name, and that will surely help him no end in the championship fight, possibly gaining more points on Aidan Neat, and even possibly getting himself right onto the tail of Keen Nakamura Berta, who finished in 3rd place in that race.
A nail-biting finish between teammates, but Harley Keeble did just enough to keep Harry Burgoyne Jr. at bay for victory. Championship leader King Nakamura-Berta has work to do to regain his winning form as the IAME Cadets move on to the next rounds at Wigan in a few weeks' time.
It was good. Yesterday we struggled a bit with power, and today we got good points from it, but unluckily Harley and Harry cleared off in the distance, so could only there was a big scrap for third.
The race was really good. Harley got a little gap in the middle because I made a mistake, but we managed to come back, and then coming out of the last corner he over-defended, and then I got the run, but he got over the line first.
So basically going on to the last lap, I had a tiny gap, but because of the toe, he caught up by the first hairpin, so I was defending, and then coming out the last corner, defended a tiny bit too heavy, and then he got the undercut, but luckily I came out on top.